Without no further ado, my man, Richie Evans. What's good?
Man, working, staying low key, keeping my head down, getting to it, Daddy. That's it.
Already. That's what's up. We got a lot of places to go tonight.
Yeah,
Off
and
top.
Richie said that we can go anywhere we want.
Okay, well, let's get to it.
Right.
Let's get to it.
Okay.
All right. Richie Evans,
Yes, sir.
formerly
Known as Juice.
Juice McCain.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Arizona MC.
Yes, sir.
Black Wall Street.
Yes, sir.
The Game.
Yeah.
That was what year was that?
2009.
Me and Richie, we go back a little further than the music too.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't realize that I hooped.
No, you know what?
You keep
Blaze.
telling us this, Blaze.
Right, and
It's
no one
crazy
believes
because,
me.
No. It's crazy because I tell people too low key, like, yo, like I really hooped, like I was nice, like,
Oh, yeah?
like, Google it. I'm
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
Like,
You guys.
college, whole nine.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Blaze, you know what I'm saying? We really go back to that era.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before the music, before know what I'm
the
saying?
music,
The iKON
yeah.
radio, like,
So check this out. Let's start in the beginning, man.
Okay.
A lot of people, they don't associate you with Arizona. Some do, some don't.
right.
Why wouldn't they?
I don't know.
You know what? It's crazy because at the end of the day, man, like, I kind of got that game syndrome going on as far as music go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, my swagger, my jargon got a little bit of East Coast to me. You know what I'm saying? I was born in Philly.
How long were you there?
I was born there and I left when I was 3.
Oh, okay.
My father was in the military, you know what I mean? And we got stationed at Luke Air Force Base. Majority of my childhood was based there until we end up moving overseas, you know what I'm saying? Went to Germany, been to Paris, things like that, New Mexico, the whole nine. I call Arizona home because it was the only city that we was at more than 3 years at a time. So, I really called it home. All the real ones in the city who know my journey,
Yeah.
they know it started, barbershop, battling, slinging mixtapes. Like I was really on the circuit. Salute to the Mike Mills, the, you know what I'm saying, G Waynes, you know what I'm saying, the Twins, the Faces, you know what I'm saying, the Dre's. I was really, really, really out there front line, slinging CDs, battle rapping, you know what I'm saying, taking notes from the forefathers before me, you know what I mean? Buki, the survivalist, you know what I'm saying? Ghetto Gov, like real life Arizona shit.
So you had the cosign from a lot of these guys.
Man, listen, I'm gonna keep it all the way solid, bro. Like I got the life shield. Like I really, real life, even to this day, talk to each and every one of them individually. You know what I'm saying? Because I've took a portion of what they did and try to put it into my own to grow it to get it to where we got to go.
That's
you know what I
smart.
mean?
Okay.
So,
All right. With that being said, there was a time in Arizona hip hop, which to me was kind of like is very historical because Willie,
right.
Hot Rod,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Carnegie. I had a chance to interview Hot Rod
Right.
a couple years ago.
Right.
Around that time, there was a lot of energy,
Yes, sir.
and things were happening to a lot of cats.
Yes, sir.
And you happen to be one of them.
Yes, sir.
In your words, how did all that happen?
Man, to keep it all the way copacetic, at that time, you know what I'm saying, there was a guy named Miko Wadey.
Okay.
He ran a company called Desert Heat Entertainment. Miko was the first person to bring 50 Cent to Arizona. It was right when the Double XL dropped with him, Eminem, and Dre.
Right.
Wow.
The show was so out of control, like it was double packed, sold out, like people couldn't even get in.
Yeah.
Miko had 50 locked into like I want to say like a 2-show deal. But the show was so packed out, the second show he had to move it. Long story short, Miko ended up building a super great relationship with G-Unit. DJ Who Kid would come over, stay the night. Whenever they would, come in, Lloyd Banks,
Buck.
Buck, you know what I'm saying? Yayo, everybody. There was a couple people who was involved in making that go. There was a dude named Pipey at the time. My man Dre was in the same loop. So at that particular point, Pipey was, pumping for Hannibal to get a situation. My man Dre was pumping for me to get a situation. 50 was already kind of on hype about what was going on in Arizona. Miko was like, yo, check it out, youngin'. I like what you do. I got Lloyd Banks and I got Young Buck coming back. I want you to open up. But I'm going to keep it all the way copacetic. There was a little bit of business going on with that. He was like, if you come back and do this, I need you to sign with me for management.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I low-key felt some type of way at that point because I'm like, yo, I met you through my man.
Right.
And I'm managed by my man at the time. You know what I'm saying? My man who got money into this. So
he kind of stole that situation.
So you know, I felt some type of way initially going into this, and basically I was like, yo, talk to my big homie about it. He was like, listen, he can't do that because I got money, and you gonna end up doing the show regardless.
Right.
Done deal. So I told Miko at the time, yo, I'm not signing with you. Now, this is where the Hot Rod situation comes into play.
Okay.
Initially, 50 was low-key eyeing me to sign with him first, but due to business reasons, it didn't happen.
Really?
So
the plot thickens.
Come on, Daddy.
I'm trying to tell you.
I'm gonna keep it all the way copacetic out
Always.
here. And listen, it's 100. You can call Hannibal, you can call Twin, Pipey, Dre, everybody in the city. I'm gonna speak 100% what it is right now on iKON Radio. First interview for the city ever.
Okay, what was Willie's situation and all this at the time? Did you have a relationship with Willie?
Nah, you know what I mean? To keep it all the way real, me and Willie was real life gonna catch that fade.
Yeah.
See, Willie had a real relationship with Hot Rod.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So at that particular time, I didn't end up doing the G-Unit situation. Hot Rod took the deal. You know what I'm saying? Game was out here working with Swiss Beats.
Okay.
I got a phone call, you know what I'm saying? Baby mom told me she was pregnant. I got the stressing. I couldn't even work. You know what I mean? I leave the studio, I burn a disc. Long story short, I go to CBNC nightclub. I see a Lambo at the front, doors open, Swiss Beats and Game is in there.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? When I went in to buy me a drink to get my wallet, I felt the disc. I look over to the right, the VIP area. I'm like, look, man, you just got a phone call that, you about to have a kid.
Wow.
You got to go all in. Daddy, what you going to do? You going to join the military like your pops? You going to, hit the streets with, some of your OGs and really get in it like that? Or, what you going to do?
Right.
Man, so I'm going to go for mine.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I go to the VIP area. His security came up and I was like, yo, all due respect, I know you as manager, you do what you do, but I don't feel comfortable giving you this disc because I've been there before. You know what I mean? So he was like, nah, give it to me. Well, Game ends up getting up and walking to the bar. So whenever he gets up and moves, his security team has to move with him. So they end up moving at the time. So I end up sliding right in.
Oh, okay.
So
is this before or after he's gone from G-Unit and him and 50 are beefing?
This was at the brink when they was starting to beef. This is when he was basically coming into his own, trying to put his distribution situation together for Black Wall Street.
Okay. So he was already in the mode of like building up Black Wall Street.
Exactly.
Okay. So you came at the perfect time.
Everybody know Game stamped me hard. That's my big brother. Love him dearly. He gave me an opportunity of a lifetime. Went across the globe, was in the XXL, Vibe, Source, did David Letterman, the first annual BET Awards, like everything. He really, really was invested in me. He was like, yo, you remind me of myself, but a little bit younger and fresher. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not mixed up in the bullshit. So I was like, all right, I get it. But his contractual obligations still had to be upheld with the person he was beefing with. We all, me, Menace, everybody sat down at that particular time and was like, look, what are we going to do? And he was like, listen, you can ride with me over to Cash Money, or I know a couple of you can stand on your own and you have the, parent companies like Interscope, Warner, and Capital checking for you. Right. If you want to do that, I'm man enough to let my young boys go get what they got to do.
Right. Okay.
And that's where we was at.
So Game's big homie.
Yeah.
I can see what you're saying, man. Like, it's like, you're on the squad, you know what I'm saying? You got on the uniform.
Listen, I didn't even have on a uniform. I was putting up buckets. Like, you know what I mean? Cats got to understand, like, I was in full mix.
Right.
Listen, he called my phone, plane ticket, the day that I landed in LA. The very first day that I landed, we went to the studio from the airport. The first artist that I meet was Kanye West and Common sitting at the board working on his album.
Wow.
On Everything Moving.
How did you feel like when you saw that? What was your mindset?
It was low-key surreal because, again, at the end of the day, people got to understand, like, Game and Nas to me was my idols. You know what I'm saying? Game, Nas, and Ice Cube are my one. So to be, I'm in LA, in this dude's car. Like, I'm looking at him like, yo, like, I'm not at the crib. I'm sitting next to homie, and he's asking me, like, yo, so what you think about this record? You know what I mean? A kid from Phoenix, Arizona, bro, like, one of the cities that's not, on the level and
Right.
known as a New York or LA yet.
It's almost like there's a really small window of opportunity. Do you still talk to New Jersey Devil?
That's my man at 50 grand.
He's a really good dude, man.
Yes.
Shout to Jersey.
Yo, shout out to my man Devil out there. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Slow Feet Don't Eat. I see you, champ. You know, like everybody in Blackwall is still pretty much brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I need a verse, if I need a beat, if we want to go out and eat, have some sushi, I call them. It's love.
Yeah.
I initially start distancing myself because I felt there was a ceiling. I needed to create my own aura.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to understand, no matter what you may think about Game, his personal or, his beefing, bottom line, he's a Hall of Famer no matter how you don't like him personally.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And in order for you to gain that aura and presence for yourself, sometimes you got to shake the dice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, his aura was so big. If I would have sat up under him for forever,
Yeah.
again, I would have always been Game's artist.
Yeah. Do you feel like
Exactly.
you left it too soon? Like,
Nah.
No?
You know what? You know what I'm saying? I look at it just like this, man. Everything that I did in the timing that I left is all on time.
Mhm.
There's not too many artists who really just came on the scene and broke. 8.5, 9 years in, I'm about to heat the summer up way, way heavy. And I'm going to go ahead and start putting on for myself, my team, TEA, and for the city. And we're going to see how the chips drop.
You said that at the time the city may not have been ready.
They wasn't. At that time, there was all eyes on Phoenix. I'm talking about from Hollywood, labels and everything.
because it's an untapped market.
Exactly. Support to everybody, MC Magic and everybody before. Like I said, I always pay homage.
Right.
And salute to Hot Rod, you know what I'm saying, in his G-Unit situation. Salute to Willie at the time with DTP, myself and Black Wall Street, and there was Atlas too. Atlas,
shout out to Atlas.
Shout out Atlas. He was signed the Rockets. But long story short, man, you know what I'm saying? It was a bitter moment because I felt like Arizona didn't have the infrastructure at that time.
Okay.
I felt like, what more did a local artist have to do individually to create that buzz and aura? Despite the beef and everything, nobody can take this away from me, Willie or Rod. The city was on fire.
Really
Bottom
was.
line,
Really
on
was.
fire on a national
Facts.
level.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Hot Rod brought 50 to the city. Had a single with Mary J. Blige. You dig? I brought Game to the city. Had a single with Bun B and Game. Willie had a, matter of fact, like salute to Willie. He had the record with Luda and Bobby Valentino and dropped a national record. What more?
Shot the video here too.
Exactly. What more did a local artist have to do to prove that he was competitive and nice like everybody else from every other state?
Yeah. It's
So,
not crazy to think
I'm-
that these people did that.
I'm guessing that I'm gonna put myself in your shoes.
For sure.
You didn't have the support from FM radio,
Facts.
from I'm gonna say local DJs,
Facts.
clubs,
Facts.
because at the time back then, strip clubs weren't rocking hip hop like they were today. Like they
Nah,
are today.
but here's the thing. They was on fire though.
Yeah.
Like every club, like All-Star Weekend, like we was like, again, I remember when MTV Cribs then came, Source came, Double XL, like we didn't just sign and just be under a person. We was gracing magazine covers, bro.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Like real life, you know what I'm saying, putting on for the city.
Yeah.
I did David Letterman, my G.
Yeah. I remember too that when 50 and Game were beefing,
Right.
Hot Rod went with G Unit.
Right.
You with Black Wall Street.
Right.
Everybody in the city was like, yo,
Right.
did he recruit
Him because
Juice?
right.
Because 50 had Hot Rod, and now are
Right.
those two beefing in the city?
Right.
Uh-huh.
And if so, I'm all about it. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's
Oh
go.
my God, I was all with it.
Let me get that
Yeah.
exclusive.
When I tell
Oh,
you,
yeah.
trust when I tell you, like, to be a grown man and really speak on that particular situation, like I didn't really know Rob. He did sign first.
Right.
I signed my situation second, and he dropped the Mary J. Blige record, and I remember sitting in the studio with Game, and he pressed play. And Game was like, "It's G, you not around here, champ. Let's go in." I was like, "It's nothing. Let's do it." I'm signed to him, so I'm like,
Yeah, you got to ride.
go.
So we just
Yeah.
jump on the record and start spazzing. The reason why I even did it was 50 and Hot Rod did an interview. I think it was on Tim Westwood, if I'm not mistaken. But he did an interview and they asked the same question. And Rod said something slick at the time that I just kind of heard up on the interview and was kind of like, that's my window. Yeah. I'm jumping all the way in. Right. You know what I'm saying? And
well, it was almost like during any kind of beef, you're almost looking for something.
Exactly. And you know what? And it wasn't even disrespectful, to be honest. It was just like you got two dudes from the city who were two of the biggest artists at the time on two different sides, and we had to inherit each other's beef. Yeah. Let's just keep it G. Mm-hmm. And didn't know him, he didn't know me, but I didn't care. I was riding for BWS for life, right. And he was riding with the unit, and it was what it was.
Did you and Hot Rod ever at any point during that time have any like run-ins with each other?
Yeah.
But I'm saying like on some real so Bruh, it was like that.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you next. My man, next.
Hey, that's where John Blaze got his start in Arizona.
Really?
So Sugar Tuesdays.
Man, so real life, Rod was linked up with the homies Fearless at the time. Shout out to Fearless Records and all that. And he pulled up to the club. He was about 20 deep. I pull up with the big homies, you know what I'm saying? A couple of my people, you know what I'm saying? Twin, Dre, Face, you know what I'm saying? Like we was moving. Uh-huh. So I pull up, he got the G-Unit chain out. Everybody know I'm infamous for the big Black Wall Street chain. I'm out. And it was just, as soon as I walk in, he went to his VIP area, I went to mine, it got silent. Everybody was like, what's about to happen?
What's going to happen?
And shout out to SynQ, everybody else. We literally, everybody paused for about 5 seconds and looked at each other. The real ones was like, what we doing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A couple of the big homies on my side and their side went over, talked to each other, and kept it all the way positive. Look, these two dudes is from Phoenix, and we repping for the city. Tonight, ain't no drama going down. Y'all enjoy yourselves. We gonna enjoy us. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But everybody was on guard though. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, you could, because even 50 and Game had been in places around that time together.
Oh my God.
And the tense, it's very tense in there.
Exactly. He gave me a Black Wall Street chain.
Right.
Small one. At the end of that, I was there for 3 days, and then I had to fly back to Phoenix.
Okay.
He walked in that morning, gave me a contract, and he told me, give me the chain back. And I'm like, man, I didn't make the cut.
Right.
He was like, nah. He gave me the bigger chain, the big one I had.
Yeah,
Iced out, fully blessed. He was like, listen, this is the torch to you. Here's the contract. Go home, see your family, tell them about it, see your attorney, do what you got to do.
Right.
You got to be back in a week. We're going to Europe. Dandada. Came home with the big chain around my neck. Iced out. Bruh, I slept with it. You know what I mean? I walked down the street with it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was like really like, you know what I mean? Like,
do you still have it?
I have all my chains still.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I still have the big Juice license plate. I got the Beast Star.
That one's iconic too, by the way. That
for the city. And you know what? I wore it everywhere so they knew where I was from. Every artist I met, Jim Jones, Nas, Kendrick, J-Rock, Game, whatever. I always represented where I was from with no delay, period. No matter what you can say about Juice, you know what I'm saying, Richie Evans, but one thing that I will go down for, legendary and nobody can take away, I stood internationally, nationally against the best and rep where I was from, and that's Phoenix AZ.
That's real.
Period.
That's real. I remember somebody saying they wanted you to be an LA artist.
Facts.
So,
which is true.
He's from LA instead of Phoenix because Phoenix doesn't have that
infrastructure.
Right. And then I also heard that they were kind of maybe changing your image a little bit.
I had my XXL shoot, and they was like, why don't you say you from Compton?
For real?
Off top.
Oh my gosh.
I said, listen here,
Who
champ.
asked you to do this?
XXL.
XXL, okay.
Wow.
I said, listen here, champ. Keyword, listen here, champ. I'm from Phoenix AZ, so make sure you print that right.
Thank you.
And they printed it right.
Okay.
They don't know how to break artists in Arizona because they've spent a lot of money here and they haven't got the results back.
As a DJ, I would try to break a record from the city that was hot, you know what I'm saying? And I remember I never got hired again I had a record from Trey Gutter who was doing an album release party.
Shout out Trey Gutter.
And he had a couple tables, and he wanted me to play the record as he walked in.
Right.
And this promoter, Blaze, what are you doing?
Right.
Run that BMF again.
Right.
I played it twice already. It's 9:30. What do you want me to do?
Bruh.
So that right there I can see.
Right.
I'm gonna ask you, like, seeing how everything's moving right now, encourage you to get back on kind of like the game.
You know, I would have to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't trying to do any type of interviews until my music, my situation, and my singles was ready to drop.
You're in a different lane because, like, you went around the world. You were in a major situation.
Peep this, Blaze. I remember when I came back from LA, you know, cats was, you know, trying to, you know, collab. And I remember I got a lot of backlash because it was like, oh, well, he don't want to rock with us. He think he too good. Your mindset as a student changes.
Absolutely.
Your perception and thought of how you was doing music back in the city is completely enhanced now.
Because plus two, you're trying to lock your spot.
Exactly.
Because you know any day you may be sent home.
Right, exactly. So it was, for me, Blaze, it was like each day I was there, I was a sponge. I was learning.
Yeah.
Dre is the most critical person in life.
Oh my gosh, I'm good.
Like, you have no idea. Like, you know what I mean? He makes you do the record over 1,000 times. Like, he pushed you to be amazing.
That's awesome.
People have to understand, and the Aftermath brand that Game was signed to, I want people to understand their failure is the average artist's success.
Right. I can understand that.
Let me be clear. 50 sold 10 million records. Eminem sold 15 million records. Game sold 8 million records. Their expectation for success is through the roof.
It's unimaginable.
Exactly. I was like a well-oiled student. So people bringing me like, yo, let's do features, let's do this. And I'm listening like, nah, I can't do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's not there. Like, you know, and then when you try to give a little bit of guidance, to try to be like, listen, champ, how about we do this? The frustration is like, he's too good now.
Yeah,
he don't rock with us no more. You know what I mean?
He's Hollywood.
He's Hollywood now. You feel me?
Okay.
Yeah,
not everybody can ride in the boat. Not
I
everybody can
agree.
ride in the boat.
I
All right. Fast forward 2017. You got a new record right here.
Yes, sir.
It's called Come and Talk to Me.
Come on, man.
Featuring Jake and Papa.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Jake and Papa.
That's big. How'd you link with them?
Truthfully, man, I was just out there working on my project, and I had a partner named Dub. Dub was signed to Black Wall at one point, and he had a record, and I just really felt a vibe and energy. And I reached out to him. I was like, yo, I got this record that I think that y'all would just bless. Sent it to him. They sent it back, and then literally like 2 weeks later, he ended up calling me, was like, yo, we just signed with Priority.
Yeah.
Capitol Records just brought back Priority under their imprint.
Really?
I get a phone call from Mike Lynn. And I was like, Mike Lynn, I know that name. Like, I remember you being in the studio. He was actually the president of Aftermath at that time.
Okay.
He calls and he was like, listen, at this moment, you know what I'm saying, Dre's about to, you know, we're about to sell Aftermath over to Interscope. Dre's going to leave and do the Beats thing with Apple. You know, he was taking a VP position over at Warner Brothers at the time. And he was like, yo, I'm about to go over there and revamp the situation. I'm reaching out to you, Nipsey, a couple other people to see if we can get things moving. So I was like, all right. He was like, yo, can you meet me at my restaurant at like 8 o'clock? Bro, it was like 11 a.m. I was like, I wasn't even in LA at the time. I jumped in the Benz and smash. Go up there, I meet him, and you know, he really was, you know, a fan. He understood the situation I was in with Game and was like, yo, if we really give this kid a shot, I think that he really can blossom. So at that particular time, man, you know, within a year and a half to 2 years, the contract situation with Game ended up fizzling out. Worked on a lot of music within the meantime, just focused and locked in, start handing some things over. So we end up dropping this new record, man, called Come and Talk to Me, which is actually the first leak of a series of records I'm about to drop, you know, this summer. Something for the ladies, and you know what I mean, I'm kind of hoping everybody rocking with it.
This is a big record. I think it's a record for the summer.
Appreciate that.
Like, it's just one of those feel good joints, obviously with the, you know what I mean, the Jodeci sample, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Joe. Actually, I initially tried to get Jodeci to do the record.
Oh wow, maybe a remix. You never know.
Everybody
is it
working.
possible you and Hot Rod on a record?
Yeah. You know what?
I could make that happen.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know
yeah?
what? It comes a time where you grow up as a man. I'm not 21 no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know, I've seen him out countless times. We didn't had a drink. We never worked together. Like I said, you know, I know he's forever G Unit. I'm forever Black Wall.
Right.
But, you know, even 50 in game trying to work it out.
Exactly.
You know, some people know me as Rugby. Some people know me as Juice McCain. But I got to be all the way clear. Like, ain't nothing more realer than the birth name that your mama gave you.
Real.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm a grown man now. I'm not 16. I'm not 21.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm Richie Evans. You know what I'm saying? I'm live and direct. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. And I hold a big crown. You know what I'm saying? Let's make it all the way happen. I'm dropping nothing but flame all summer. And I'm going to raise the ante. You know what I'm saying? Bar none.
You really recharged.
Listen.
This is like Richie
I
Evans.
feel
Like
it.
Listen. I'm
like it's about to go down.
Listen.
He's real. Yeah, he's really talking.
I stand on it. Right? You know, no lie, Blaze. Like, I'm about to come back probably in like 14 days and hit you with another smash.
Let's go.
And
Let's
another
go.
smash. And another smash.
We gonna
I'm going to make
blast
sure
off.
we get it.
So
We gonna
you
blast
said you
off.
had some shows coming up, or what
I
is
do.
going on with the shows?
You know, I'm going on the road all summer. I'm going to come back. I'm going to try to get with Justice out here and really, you know, do a hip-hop joint.
Whoa, the festival?
I've never done it.
Whoa.
So, I told Justice, I said, I'm going to go ahead and put some things in the work. I'm going to call some favors, and I'm going to try to make it an epic movie.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, we here, man. Richie Evans, TEA, Black Wall Street. We living, and let's make it happen.